you'll use your regular gray credentials, and when you go to One Login, you will look for the gray ARC card. And when you click that card, it will open Okta, which will allow us to then click on the ARC publishing tool. One other thing to keep in mind here as you're training and as you're practicing prior to your launch and even after your launch is you'll want to use the sandbox environment. And you know you're in sandbox when you look at your ARC screen and you see the yellow box at the top right next to your name that says sandbox. So first we'll talk about ARC Photo Center. I'm going to show you how to upload images, edit images, create galleries, create light boxes. And I've got a link in the chat that says practice images. And if you need images to use for practice, you can go ahead and go to that Google Drive site and grab some of those images to use. Otherwise, you can use images from your computer. So let's go to Photo Center. So this is what the home screen looks like in ARC. You can also see a menu on the left-hand side where you can get to the tools that you need to get to. You'll see some tools here that you won't have access to, but you should have access to Composer, Photo Center, Video Center, and Web Sched. So let's go to Photo Center. And the first thing I want to do, you can see right now that I am in production, and that's what you'll be in when you're uploading images and creating galleries for your live website. But we are going to move to Sandbox. So in order to do that, you click the ARC logo at the top left and change your environment to Sandbox. And now we see that we're in Sandbox, and I'd like for you also to make sure that you're in Sandbox as we move forward. So first thing I'll show you is how to upload an image. At the top right is a blue box that says upload images. If you click that, you get a couple of templates to choose from. You will always want to use the Gray Station Images template. The GDM sponsor graphics is for corporate use only. So if you click that, then your computer will open up and you will be able to choose images for uploading. So if I go to my Photo Center folder here and find an image that I want to upload, I'll go ahead and click that and click open. And we can see that we have now one image selected. And if we click upload, we can watch the progress bar and see that now it's 100% uploaded into the system. From there, an image editing page will open up and you will see some fields that you can fill out. Now there are required image fields to be able to publish an image. Those are headline, caption, credit, keywords, and usage instructions. So I'm going to go ahead and put my headline in, and this is just going to be a test image for now. So I'm going to put test image here. And for the caption, you'll want to use words that describe what your picture is depicting. Search engines cannot see pictures, so captions help search engines understand what the content is. So in this case, you'll want to use keywords or phrases that you believe people might search for, and that will help for search engine optimization. I'm just going to put in this is a test image for now. And we will then move down the page and we will see that the credit is also a required field. And this is important because you will be able to see images from all of the other stations that are on ARC in your instance, meaning all of the clickability stations that are migrating over into ARC and eventually all of the stations that are in ARC. So stations will need to know if an image is cleared for use for them, and if there's no credit in there, they won't necessarily be able to know the origin of that image. So in this case, I'm just going to put my name and I'm going to scroll down here to keywords. Keywords are also important for search engine optimization. So keep in mind the words or phrases that people might use to search for your content. And then in this case, I'm just going to put test for now, and you do have to click the plus button. And now we see we have one keyword saved to this image. And then finally, usage instructions. In most cases, Your usage instructions could be, none or free to use, meaning that anyone can use them. Or if you do have an embargo or a case where your station can only use that, you can put that in here as well. And now we are finished filling out our required fields, and I'm going to go ahead and click Save and Return. And now our image is saved and available for use in Photo Center. And that comes up in the Images tab. When you click the Images tab, you can see all of the images that are available to you for use. You can also search here on the left-hand side. Plenty of filters over here to use, including published, unpublished images and date ranges. And you can also search up here using keywords. Now, if you need to edit your image, you can go ahead and hover over it and click the pencil. And that's going to bring up your image. You can choose a focal point, which focal points become important when you have images that may not display correctly on your website section fronts or in other places. For instance, if you have a tall mugshot, we've all seen the images of somebody's nose and chin, but not their eyes. You can fix that using focal point. So I'm going to go ahead and click Set Focal Point, and I'm going to click right here in the middle and click Set Focal Point. We now have a focal point set. So that's going to be the center of the image when it displays in different places on your website. As we go down here, you can also restrict your image, meaning if you have an embargo or something along that same line, you can go ahead and restrict it so people know that it's restricted. You can crop your images. So when you hit the crop button, the original image crop here comes up. You can change your aspect ratio to 16:9. You can change it to square, which is good for social media, or you can go free and change the crop yourself. So let's say I want to crop everything out here except for this cool tree here in the middle of the ocean. I go ahead and click crop. And now I've got a new image, and this image is not overriding the original image in Photo Center. This has actually created a new image. So you can see here, this is a derivative of this image ID. Now, when you do that, your original headline and caption and keywords and everything else that was saved with that image comes over, but you can edit that if you need to just by clicking in the box. So I'm just going to call this test image cropped. And I'm going to save it. Now, before I save it, I just want to show you the other buttons here. You can download an image directly from Photo Center. So if you need to grab something from Photo Center for a video or for social media, you can go ahead and download that to your computer here. So once I hit save, the image is saved. And if I go back to the Images tab, I see now that we have two different images, our original image here and our new image here. And you can see now this red button tells me that this one is unpublished. So I'm going to go back into the image because you can't use any unpublished images in stories or anywhere else on your website. And I go down here and change this to publish and click save. And when I go back to the images now, I'm going to see that this is a published image and this is a published image as well. I'm going to give you time to do this yourself here in a little bit, but I do want to show you that you can upload multiple images at the same time. So again, I click the blue button at the top right and choose Gray Station Images, and then I select my files. And in this case, I'm just going to choose 3 files here to upload. I see I have them selected. I click upload, and now I see the progress bars that we are now 100% into the system. It will bring up your familiar image editing tool. However, now you see the 3 different images here. So if you have this image selected, you can go ahead and put your headline, your caption, your credit, and your keywords in. Or if for whatever reason you'd like to add the same headline for all 3 of the images, you can do that too at the same time. So we'll call this test image 3. And over here, you see if you hover over this little button here, it says copy to all, meaning if I click copy to all now, all 3 of these images, you can see as I scroll through them, have the same headline. And you can do the same thing for caption and credit and so on. And when you're finished, you would hit save and return, and then you would go to images, and then you would see all those images available to you. You can also create galleries, or as we call them sometimes, slideshows in Photo Center. And in order to do that, you go to the Galleries tab and click New Gallery. And we give the workflow status here a publish, and we call this a test gallery. We also would put a description in here. This is the description. And we scroll down and we then see websites. Now we will talk about provisioning for websites a little bit later, but you'll need to choose your website in this case in order for it to be published and be assigned to your site. So if you click edit, you find KCRG as an example, and then you want to assign it to a section. You'll want to choose a section which most accurately depicts what type of gallery it is. In many cases, or most cases, it's going to be news, but it could be sports, it could be weather. So you want to choose that, and then we see that we have the appropriate website and section on the right, in the right-hand column here, and then we click save. And then from there, we can add images to our gallery. We can either upload images if we don't have them in Photo Center already. So to do that, you would click upload, select files, and you would choose, we'll just choose a couple of files here. You would choose a couple of files and then click upload. And we will see now that these files need to be edited. They need to have a headline. They need to have those required fields in order to be saved in Photo Center. In the interest of time, I'm going to go ahead and go back, and we will start our gallery again. And instead of uploading images this time, we will go ahead and add images directly from Photo Center, meaning they're already in, they're already edited. So if I click add images here, it will bring up my image list, and I'm going to go ahead and choose a couple of images here. And you can either click the box at the top left or click the plus button on the image. And we'll just add 4 or 5 images here. And once I have those all chosen, I click add to gallery, and now I see at the bottom of my gallery, I've got my images in my list. Now, you can move these around, but you do have to save first. So if I click save now, system tells me that this is successfully saved, and now I can actually drag and drop my images. So if I want this graphic to be first in the gallery, I can do that, and I can move them around. And we also need to choose what we call a hero image, which is the image that displays in stories or on the website as the first image when someone comes across it as a summary. So if you can do that by clicking the little star here. And now we see we have our hero image chosen, and we have our images in the correct order, and we always need to save and publish once we're finished and ready to go. So now that I've saved that gallery, I can go ahead and open the galleries by clicking the gallery tab and see all the galleries that are available to me. And I'm going to go ahead and show you this test gallery. This is the one that we just created, and we see that our images are in order, and we have our hero image chosen. Now, lightboxes are similar to galleries, except that they don't display on any part of your website. They're not discoverable via the public. So in other words, this is a way to organize images on the back end. For instance, if you have several marketing images that you use throughout the year, or mugshots or things like that, you can organize them in a lightbox to make them a little bit easier to find than what you would use when you're searching in the images. Because again, you're going to eventually see hundreds of thousands and millions of images available to you from stations throughout the company, and that may make things a little bit hard to find. So a lightbox is a great way to organize your images. And you create that just like you would a gallery. You click New Lightbox and you go through adding the information, and then you add your images there.